how do you achieve a happy life? Author Todd Patkin has been trying to find the answer to that question for the majority of his life. Finding Happiness, Todd's new book, finally sheds some light on the contentment conundrum. Part memoir and part self-help, Finding Happiness chronicles Todd's very difficult but ultimately successful journey toward cracking the happiness code. Is happiness having it all?
Of course happiness isn't having it all. Look, you just have to turn on the television and look at all of these famous people who aren't happy. Or look at all the wealthy people who are struggling with depression and anxiety. Let me be a personal example. I had my own brutal breakdown at age 36 when I was earning more money than I ever dreamed possible. Trust me, please trust me. Happiness has very little to do with wealth.
Where does happiness begin?
Happiness, like anything else, should begin when you're a child. The problem is most of our parents never learned how to be happy themselves. So most of us learned from parents who weren't happy. We learned how to be unhappy. We, at some point in our lives, have to decide we've had enough. Something isn't right. We're tired of being unhappy. And it really then becomes learning how to show ourselves more love and kindness. It's about self-love.
How do you escape stress and depression?
You know, it's very difficult because you've got a whole lifetime of habits that you've formed in terms of the way that you react to different situations. In terms of changing the way that you handle stress and depression, you have to simply decide. Decide in its Latin form is to break with the past. You've got to get to a point in your life where you can't take it anymore and you're going to change. And I can help you do that.
Happiness doesn't just happen.
Happiness doesn't just happen. You're not going to just walk down the street and all of a sudden somebody throw you a bouquet of flowers and everything's la-la and great. No, it's a lot of work. It's just like building a muscle at the gym. If you're someone who's never gone to the gym and you weigh 300-400 pounds, you can't just go to the gym and think it's going to be easy. You need determination and you need to stick to it. I'm not looking for someone who's going to say, I'll try it and if it's too tough, I'll stop.
How did this one man turn a breakdown into a breakthrough?
I'll tell you, the greatest thing God ever gave me was my breakdown, and I say it and I'm being totally truthful. I knew all the answers. I knew everything that I needed to do to be happier, but I wasn't willing to change. It just wasn't happening. Finally, when I was completely broken, I said, I've had enough. I'm no longer going to make myself unhappy. I'm no longer going to beat myself up. I'm no longer going to look at the one thing I did wrong in a week instead of the 1,000 things I did right and tell myself I'm a failure and I'm useless, like so many of us do. You need to hit threshold. That's what I hit. And I hope you can get to the point where you finally decide, I'm going to change.
Take the 12-week challenge.
My 12 Weeks to a Happier Life is a summation of all of the things that I've learned, the 12 main things I do habitually now to be happier. We start out the first week with exercise and we move through to the last week where we talk about gratitude. Each week we'll talk about one new step for you to do. We'll encourage you to do it. We'll have fun. It's playful. The most important thing is that at the end of the 12 weeks, if you're serious and you stick with it, you'll have changed your life. And what's even more important, you'll be setting up a trend for the rest of your generations, for your children and their children, because as I said, children learn from their parents. So once you become a happy person, they will too.
Finding Happiness. One man's quest to beat depression and anxiety, and finally, let the sun shine in.